I am so excited to have you with us today. Guys, we're coming back at you with another luxury short-term rentals summit expert guest. So super excited to have John with us because he is sharing some amazing tips in the expert panel. And so for today, we're going to get a chance to get to know a little bit about who John is. He's just here with us for a few minutes. But the reason for this process, guys, is again because we have 60 guests at the summit and they only have 60 seconds to deliver years of experience compressed into 60 seconds. Okay, so there's no long Clubhouse intros, there's no fluff. He is giving you the meat, the potatoes, and for my vegetarians, and the vegetables of STR within his area of expertise. So he's here today, though, because I wanted you to interact with him. Say hello to John. Ask questions while we're here. So again, John, I am so excited that you're here with us today. We got to meet, I think last year sometime on Clubhouse, but most recently in person. And I thought that was just so special, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. And when we were in Nashville together, I had to come by and say hello because you're my Clubhouse posse, right? So that was awesome. First of all, thanks for putting this together. This is amazing, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Should I dive in, or is there anything
else? Dive in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's go. We're loose today.
Yeah. So, really quickly, I'm in my fifth career in my life right now. So I'm an architect by training. I was a
wait. Yes. I did not know that.
Yes. So I was an architect in my entire life. And then I focused on environmental sustainability. So I was a consultant within the architecture industry, focusing on environmental sustainability. And then I became a real estate investor developer on my own. And while I was developing, I wanted another real estate asset that would cash flow. And so I dabbled with short-term rentals, and that's how I built my company, Ohana Stay, out in Honolulu, Hawaii. And so I'm just a small operator out in Honolulu. But from the very beginning, I focused on the technology, really playing with, I've onboarded and offboarded 15 different PMSs. No one else in the world has ever done that. And so out of that, I got really good with the technology, and I've been doing my revenue management on my own since the very beginning. And so for this conference, I'm talking about revenue management as my expertise. And because I don't come from the hotel industry, I approach revenue management completely differently from all the hoteliers who are doing revenue management in our space. And I think that's my little secret sauce in the short-term rental world. So if I could just jump in on that, and this is what I talk about in the 60 seconds.
Well, we don't want to spill the tea, though.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how I got into the space. And so with that right now, I wear multiple hats in the industry. I run Ohana Stay, so that's an active business that is currently running, and I'm the CEO, and my wife is the COO, and then we have a team that executes everything on our behalf. I have a company called Tech Tape, and that's the consulting company that provides both revenue management services as well as helps people put together a tech stack that works for them and not just rely on what's available out in the industry. And then I've just had experience fighting regulations, seeing mergers and acquisitions, both at the property management level and private equity and the technology space within our industry. And so I kind of have this broad overview of the industry, and yet I'm a small operator out in Honolulu. That's it.
So I love that. And the reason I love that, guys, is this. We don't have to live in a place where everything is so mysterious and we're on this island just fighting it out on our own. Say, for example, I'm struggling with my revenue and I feel like I can do better. I just don't know how to. I'm using, the tools, but I'm still not getting there. And the purpose of this summit, everyone, is to expose you to different individuals who have expertise in different areas, so that afterwards, if you decide, you know what John was saying resonates with me, then you can tap in with him, or so that you can say, you know what, my revenue is going great. I don't need anything like that. But if I were ever to need, some assistance or some support, let me make sure I add John to my Rolodex, virtual Rolodex, so that I can, just kind of keep up with him to see what all he has to offer. And so it doesn't have to be an island. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Prior to this call, we were just talking about that, and I'm looking for my book, Who Not How. I don't see it in here, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Somebody else knows how to do the thing it is that you're trying to do. And John, one thing that I thought was interesting about this book, Who Not How, was, and this was my favorite part, the author says that procrastination is wisdom. Let me say that again for people who sit in the back. Procrastination is wisdom. I was like, yes, I've been wise all this time. But here's why. He says that what your body is telling you about this task that you keep putting off is probably not something that either you're super skilled at, either you enjoy. So when you start to see that, you need to start to say, who is it who's already doing this, who has an expertise, who's tested all of these things that I can go ahead and reach out to? Why would I test 15 PMSs, John? I'm not doing it, but you have. And you have, your way around. And you can even future pace. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. That's the thing about SEO. You don't know what you don't know. Isn't that the truth?
That's the whole industry. There's no short-term rental education, no short-term rental school, right? There's no degree. And so everyone has developed their operations in a vacuum in a way, right? And so everyone does it differently. And so, like you're saying, you leverage the people who have experience in one area or another, and that way you can kind of shortcut the learning experience. One thing I want to just share is, like, anyone can go to Home Depot and buy a hammer, right? But that's not to say that if you're not day in, day out, building and whatever, you have the same tool, but you're not doing the same job as, a carpenter who's doing it every day, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of what you want to find. You want to find the craftsman that does that part really well, and you focus on the things that you enjoy doing and that you do really well, and you go so much further approaching life that way. And that's life, not just short-term rental.
Absolutely. And we all have our own skill sets, right? We all have and we had to learn early on. I was cleaning my houses for my first few stays, right? When I launched my first
clean my own house, because I am bad at cleaning.
I'm pretty good. So I did, but immediately I realized, do I clean my house for, this amount of dollars, or should I go and practice medicine for this amount of dollars? So it wasn't worth my time. And so, not that, that's just not my skill set. That's not my training. And somebody else is going to come in and do it 80 times better than me, no matter how good I thought I was. I thought I was a great designer, and people compliment my design all the time. But when I had a designer consultant come in, it was totally different, so, this is too much here, too much there, so definitely these experts, they see it from a different perspective, and they can compress the learning curve. And so again, guys, I want you to tap in with my network, with my resources. I'm so appreciative to have John in our community and at the summit, because guess what, guys? Today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, and early bird tickets end tomorrow, okay? John, can you believe the summit is going to be $27 for the all access pass and $87 for the VIP? What do you think about that price point?
I mean, 60 experts, right? Of all different areas.
Yeah.
$27. I mean, come on, but that's like 50 cents an expert, right?
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. It's less than 50 cents an expert. Come on, guys. You can do it. Do it now.
Come and join the family. Come within the fold. And here's the deal. I challenge you, if you can swing it, go for the VIP, because with the VIP, we have networking sessions with the experts that, we have one that everyone can attend. So I would love for you to be there with us. So I'm looking down here. I see Brianna. Welcome, welcome, Brianna. I don't think we've, I think Bryn Yerna. I apologize. I'm just looking here. Awesome. Welcome. I don't think we have met. Everyone who's here, feel free to drop any questions. We have John for just a couple of minutes before Stacey jumps on. Stacey's jumping on in 4 minutes, but the link is in there, guys. Check out. Say it again.
Stacey St. John?
Yeah, she's jumping on at 10:10. Yeah. So if you have time, if you want to hang out for a few minutes, just say hello to her. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely say hello. I do need to run shortly, but definitely gonna say hello.
Awesome. I love it. It's almost like maybe speed dating. Everyone jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out.
Tap in, tap out, right?
Tap in, tap out. Yeah, I love it because the way I had it set up, John, I had like 10-minute and then I would have to log off, log back into another Zoom and then another 10-minute and then try to do like the multi-streaming. And I was sweating at my desktop just from like, so my admin, she goes in, again, skill set, she goes in, she goes, no, cluster it into one meeting and then they can come in and out so that you're not logging out, logging in, logging out, logging in. And then the internet has a disruption. I was like, oh, that is so smart, and her expertise is in calendar setup and there's so much behind the scenes that I know I'm not optimizing. And as soon as she came in, I was like, it can do that, so again,
I have some tips for you on the calendar side too, on a different time, I guess, but yeah.
I would love that. I need all the tips I can get for sure. So John, I love the fact that you came up with Tech Tape and it didn't come from a place of, I am removed from the industry and I'm just going to create something out of the blue. It came from you were trying to solve your problem, right? And thereby solving problems of others. Because one thing I don't think everyone understands is when people come to me and say, which PMS should I go with, hospitable, should I go with guest should I go with this or that or the other? And my answer is yes, right? Like nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect, right? So if you're using something, go ahead.
Yeah, so the idea of Tech Tape, it's a play on words on duct tape, right? So
I love it. I figured that out already. So I was like, oh, I love that. We're just going to try to make something because we don't have a one size fits all.
And it just doesn't exist because you operate differently from everyone else. And so actually getting a recommendation from someone else is actually that's the worst way to pick a PMS. Like, it doesn't matter what I use, could be terrible for you. And so I tell people what I use, but I'm like, you probably don't want to use it for your business because
I say that all the time.
I put it together in ways that most people would be like, whoa, what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, Tech Tape is what I kind of understand what your needs are, and then try to find a semi-customized solution that addresses maybe the top 2 or 3 things that you really need in your business, and then create a new dashboard that allows you to have that functionality regardless of which PMS you're using or what other tech you're using. So that's really kind of the very simplistic idea of what Tech Tape does.
I like that. And so for those who are relatively new to STRs, we are finding that there's those who have a certain PMS or a channel manager, and then you'll see something, in the news, oh, it's not doing this anymore, so I'm going to switch. Don't just switch, right? If you're, one of my friends says, it's like a husband. If you're close to happy, just stick to it, If you're close to happy, just stick to it, because once you switch, you're going to realize, oh man, it didn't have this other thing that was really, really important to me,
Even if it has that same feature set, what you're going to realize is the way the new PMS addresses it is completely different from the way your previous one addressed it. And because of that, now that's going to become your pain point because you're not used to that, the way the new system works.
Right.
So I love that analogy. I've never had to leave my spouse, but yes, don't leave your spouse just because there's
You're
one
close to
flaw.
happy to stick to it. Absolutely. And so I think having a partner like Tech Tape is really, really important to know that, okay, I don't have the perfect system, but maybe someone can help me, streamline a few things, right? What is it? Delegate, automate, or eliminate, right? So I can automate a few things and then, just take it from there. So thank you.
A lot of automations possible, and that's really what Tech Tape is providing. Automation to kind of bring things together. So
phenomenal.
Hey, is Stacey hopping on? I do need to jump off. So
if you need to jump off. I'm waiting to see if she's able to hop on. I probably need to check how sometimes you got to check your back channel if something's happening. Yeah, I don't see anything yet. But yeah, feel free to hop off. Feel free to stay. I'm going to go ahead into just like a little screen share demo on the page to register for the summit. And so, but John, I so appreciate you saying yes. I said, John, I would love for you to come and share about what you're doing with Ohana Stay and what you're doing with your revenue management and Tech Tape. And you didn't hesitate to say, yes, I'm there, Rachel. And so for that, my friend, I am truly grateful. If it weren't for people, like you who are willing to say, yes, I'm willing to share, this summit would not be happening. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for putting it together and giving me an opportunity to just share with people what I do. So thank you, Rachel. I look forward to the summit. Guys, less than 50 cents per expert. Register now and get to it. All right?
I love that. I'm going to start using that if you're okay with it. Less than 50 cents per expert. I love it.
Right, thanks, Rachel.
Bye, John. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right, guys. So there you have it. We just had John Ann with us, and this was absolutely, absolutely amazing. Had an opportunity to speak with him about what he is doing with Tech Tape. So super stoked about that. Wanted to go ahead and share with you, and I see Stacey just joined. I'm super excited. So I will head over to Stacey in just a moment and to hear her beautiful voice. But here's the website, guys. The link is down in the conversation. If you just go to luxstrsummit.com, that is Lux, LUXESTR, Summit, that's SUMMIT.com, you will get to this landing page. And again, 60 STR experts in 60 seconds. Stacey, John just highlighted for me that for the $27 all access pass, he said that's less than 50 cents per expert. I was like, yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Less than, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Leave it to a revenue manager expert to like break it down like that.
They do look at the numbers, absolutely.
They do. Look, he goes, guys, I said, what do you think of that price point, John? He goes, that's less than 50 cents per expert. I'm like, I'm going to use that. Oh my goodness. So $27 for the all access pass. That is going to give you 15 days access. If you can swing the $87, that'll give you 6 months access to all of this juicy content, okay? And some people are asking, 60 seconds, how am I gonna get anything from this, right? So here's the deal, guys. With 60 seconds, our experts are condensing years of experience down to the meat, down to the potatoes, down to the vegetables, for my vegetarian friends, of this STR and their area of expertise, okay? So come and get these gems, guys. We have Alex, respiratory therapist and investor. We have Alicia, Unique Stays, Price Labs, Amanda Hahn, the tax strategist for Brandon Turner, Bigger Pockets. Hello? Wouldn't you like 60 seconds with her? Just give me like what I need to know. Okay, so this is no lengthy Clubhouse intros, guys. This is meat, potatoes, and vegetables. And John, you just saw him here. And we have the lovely Stacey with us now. And Stacey, I am going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see your beautiful face. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us today. Super excited to have you.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here, and I'm so excited about your summit. I think what you're doing is so incredibly helpful, and congratulations on making this come to life. I know from personal experience, it's no small feat, right? So kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate that, Stacey. And so y'all, if you don't know Stacey, tap in with her because she is so giving. I think you're like one of the biggest givers in the industry. She's created this forum and platform for female short-term rental operators to come together in a community on Facebook, which is awesome. And then the other platform where, everyone can really have that opportunity to join. So I didn't just pluck Stacey out of nowhere. I am in her back channel, no lie. And she's my motivation and inspiration because last year when she had the female STR summit, I said, how did you do this? What did it take? What were some ins and outs? And she was so open to sharing the inside scoop. And that's what really inspired me to do something like this, Stacey. So thank you for that gift of, letting me know, yeah, it's doable, but it's going to be a bit more work than you think.
Just a little bit.
And everything you said was spot on. But guess what? I wasn't surprised because I was like, yes, Stacey said that. Yeah, Stacey said that. Yeah, Stacey said that was going to happen. So I was like, don't come at me. I already knew that this delay was going to happen. And then I got to ask all the right questions about some of the tech things, like, okay, what else do we need? Don't try to trick me. What else do we need?
Yeah. I always say, when you're rehabbing a house, I always feel like I'm living out an HGTV episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But planning a summit I feel like there should be some television episode for that because there are so many moving parts. And so again, just if you are watching this and just thinking, oh my gosh, Rachel just gathered some friends to get together and share 60 seconds. I mean, it is way more than that. So
you don't know, like there's this thing in my neck right now. I'm like,
she has invested a ton of resources, time and energy in putting that together. And I still get, feedback from the people who attended our short-term rental virtual summit for women, which we had in January, which we will have again in January 2023. But people still comment about some of the things that they learned there. And so again, I would just encourage anybody who's watching this or thinking about buying an all access pass, go ahead and spend, less than $100 and be able to soak in that content for a length of time, because as you go about your journey, things will make more sense in the future version of you compared to what you know today. So sorry.
So I'm glad you said that because Stacey, I'm looking at some speakers and they're talking about, tax strategy. Well, I'm not really thinking about tax strategy right now, but you better believe there are times like, oh man, I bet I can structure this deal in a way to get some tax advantages. So tap in when you need it. And that's the beauty of the summit. So you're going to walk into, the summit, this platform where you get to pick where you start. Where you are in your journey, Stacey, may not be where I am. What your pain point is right now, maybe my pain point next Tuesday, right? So pick and choose what you want. But it's easy to consume, right? If you want to binge watch everything once and then, settle in and take notes, I think, what an opportunity. And you'll get to watch recordings during that time period and, just keep tapping in. So you went into HGTV real quick, and it reminds me of something I wanted to ask you about, because Stacey, you started off your career in real estate investing in more of a fix and flip long-term rental realm, and then you transitioned into short-term rental. Could you tell us a little bit about that journey and why you did the transition and whether or not it kind of propelled you to make some other changes, life news types of changes?
Yeah, exactly. So I was indeed investing in long-term rentals, and I got started candidly by accident. We had purchased a property for my son to live in Florida. We live in Ohio. And He was going to go to school down in Orlando, and long story short, plans changed. And we were kind of stuck with a condo that we had just bought. And so, we put our heads together, my husband and I, and said, okay, let's get a property management company and rent this puppy out. And then after a couple months, we're like, hey, we're making money at this, right? Let's buy some more property. So we started investing in long-term rentals. I got my real estate license here in Ohio to help support our investing. We were venturing into flipping as well. And we were actually finishing up a flip, getting ready to use those profits to buy another long-term rental when COVID hit. And, we weren't sure, number one, if we were going to be able to close on that property, because we were keeping our fingers crossed that our buyer was retaining his job. And thank goodness he was, and was able to close. But we felt uncomfortable with buying another long-term rental at the time, with all the eviction moratoriums popping up. And so it was in March of 2020, and my husband and I, again, put our heads together and said, hey, we've talked about buying a vacation rental. Maybe now's the time that we pivot our strategy and delve into that and see how we like it, right? So I really spent about 6 months worth of time just educating myself, learning about the short-term rental industry, kind of diving into what we wanted out of our first property, and then bought our first short-term rental. Actually bought two at the same time. We closed in September of 2020. And now, oh my gosh, holy smokes, what an adventure we've been on. I won't bore you with too many details, but we now own 8 beachfront properties. I manage another 13 beachfront properties, and continuing to grow that on both the ownership and the management side. I have new opportunities in front of me, and have the pleasure of serving women in this industry. I feel so fortunate and so blessed to have the opportunity to just share encouraging words with people and help others encourage each other as well.
And so I absolutely love that, Stacey. One thing that I don't want to be lost to the audience, and I'm looking for the restream to see if we have any questions, is that all of this while working a full-time W-2, right? And so guys, don't forget that.
Yes, but today is my last day. Excited.
No way. I didn't want to feel. Where's my reaction? Boom. Boom. Boom.
I know. I know. I feel like I need to document this day.
Okay, let's talk about it. So how do you feel?
I'm okay. Here's the scoop. I am grateful for my W-2 job. Okay. Yeah, I have learned so much from being in the corporate world. It has made me who I am today as a business person. So I don't ever want to discount the experiences that I have been fortunate enough to receive from my W-2.
And that's how you got to buy some of your properties, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You.
And at the same time, though, there was a time in my life where I actually just posted about this in my group, but I was completely overwhelmed with work. I worked 24/7. It was like I was a workaholic, but not for the right reasons,
Yeah. Guilty.
And yeah, and it felt like the stress the pressure that I put on myself caused stress in my life, and then it bled over from my work life into my family life, right? And so I found myself, I was stressed out about everything, okay? And I knew that I had to get out. I knew I had to get myself out of that. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but one day in August, I was like, it's happening. Like I'm going to regain control of my life.
Wow.
So like it really does kind of make me teary, not in a bad way, but I'm just very grateful that, you know, I've been able to soak up knowledge from other people along the way and use their experiences to help, again, educate myself so that I can be living the life that I want to be. So it's
That's
so cool.
awesome. Oh. No, it's amazing. And do you feel that short-term rentals had a big impact?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I mean, it's everything, really. It was when I first started, obviously, in short-term rentals, you know, again, I spent a lot of time just soaking in knowledge before I actually bought my first property or first properties. But the minute that I started diving in, I was like, oh, you know, like this is it. And we have done multiple things in real estate, and I'm all about living a life that you love, right? Mm-hmm. Doing what feels good, what feels right to you. Now, real estate in general was a very important, you know, revenue stream for us, but it, you know, different aspects of real estate didn't necessarily like light me up, like get me up in the morning and go, this is amazing, you know? And when I found short-term rentals, I was like, this is amazing, you know? Mm-hmm. So it was really life-changing in many ways.
I love that. I love that. So I'm going to take a look here in the chat. We have Brynierna. She says, congratulations. She dropped flowers and just all the good emojis. I have Ron. Ron, where have you been, friend? I haven't seen you in a while. He says, that's awesome. And he dropped a whole bunch of beautiful bouquet emojis as well. Brynierna comments. Now, Brynierna is watching us from LinkedIn, by the way. Brynierna commented, W-2 is a stepping stone to your dream. I love that. Mm-hmm. And we have Gabriel. Hey, Gabriel. Gabriel says, congrats, Stacey, for cutting the cord. Massive congratulations, Stacey. And so that's what I want individuals to learn and to understand, because I often interact with mentors, coaches, individuals who typically would say something to me along the lines of, all right, you're gonna quit your job and we're gonna quit. And honestly, I swore an oath in healthcare. I swore an oath in healthcare and I meant it. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to make an impact and save lives. And so I couldn't resonate with that. I was not necessarily at a dead end, you know, job that I didn't love. I loved it. I didn't love some aspects of it, but I wanted to help. And so for me, you know, I was thinking, no, I'm not trying to quit my job. I just want to take the edge off a little bit. And that's what it's, if you want to go into short-term rentals, we're not saying you're doing it to quit your job. What if you just want to take the edge off, right? Such an opportunity. But since then, things have changed. You know?
And the other thing too is to build wealth. And again, you know, there's this financial aspect that is extremely rewarding. And coming from the long-term rental side, you know, it really helped accelerate, obviously, my ability to be able to step away from my W-2. But to your point, I mean, you absolutely, the world is your oyster. And absolutely. I feel like if you're on a path today where you want to get into short-term rentals to supplement your income, or maybe to buy a property in a place that you love to visit, and you just want to help, you know, subsidize the expense, there's no right or wrong answer. And so I think, again, where you're starting today may not be where you are in, you know, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months worth of time, but wherever you are today, you should be here. You know, you're here for a reason.
Oh, I love that. Stacey, thank you guys. There you have it. If you're just joining us, We're talking with Stacey St. John, one of our expert guests at the Luxury Short-Term Rental Summit. Stacey has a Facebook community of women, females, who are investing in short-term rentals, who have an interest in investing in short-term rentals, okay? She and I always talk about it because I'm so jealous. She and I both started our Facebook groups last year, and I just jumped into hers. I was like, this is interesting. You know, one day she has 1,000, the next day, no joke, 28,000, like the next day. I'm joking about the next day, but she's at over 20,000, approaching 30,000 very quick if you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So guys, and what I love about it, the community is raw, you know, it's raw. Here's what's happening right now, you know, any suggestions, and it's supportive.
Yeah.
It's supportive.
Yeah. You know, I'm a huge believer in the power of community and the value that Facebook groups, you know, that I'm a part of have been extremely helpful. And that being said, I've been in some Facebook groups. I'm like, holy moly, these people are no joke. Like they are mean. They are just downright mean to each other. And so when I started it, I really wanted it to be a safe space for people to ask questions and get positive and encouraging feedback that is honest feedback, but you know, in a positive and loving way. And so we really strive to make that kind of our gold standard. And, you know, I will say there are times where people will post stuff and I'll be like, sorry, gotta go, right? They'll comment, sorry, gotta go. So we do expel people, you know, quite regularly, but, you know, I'm really, again, grateful for all the women inside that community are what makes it what it is. Do you know what I mean? And so they're all aligned with that positive, encouraging approach. And if they aren't, then the women inside the group report what they see. And then again, you gotta go.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because that is a way that we have an opportunity to learn from each other. There are things that are ever evolving in the industry. It's like breaking news. Here's a new rule. Here's what I'm trying to do to navigate it. What are you trying to do? And you have that sounding board. And you're right, some of the Facebook groups, and no offense, dudes, I wish you guys have a safe space too, that you can, you know, kind of come together. But just the general Airbnb ones, there's some toxicity in there. It's like, by the time you're done reading those posts, you won't want to start. It's like, I'm not doing that. And that's what I hear from people. Like, oh no, I'm not doing Airbnb. Did you see all that's happening? I was like, man.
You know, I think the other thing too is there are always going to be new issues and challenges that we deal with as owners and operators. And, you know, there isn't some magic wand pixie dust that, you know, you have or I have, or any successful short-term rental owner or operator has. But I will say that looking at challenges along the way and being committed to continuous improvement and continuous, you know, evolution as you're the leader of your business, right? I think that's really important. So I always say fail forward. You know, you will have challenges, but fail forward. Don't let that, you know, give you a step back. Use that as a proactive measure to then create a new process or provide a new training for your team member or whatever the case might be, but use it as an opportunity to improve your business in the long run.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so this is definitely industry, Stacey, which kind of surprises me as well. It's definitely not set it and forget it, right? So there you do need to make tweaks along the way, whether it's scheduled tweaks quarterly or unscheduled tweaks when things change based on you're measuring your KPIs. Okay, so this isn't going well. How do I reposition? How do I still win? Because we can still win. Would you agree with that?
Heck yeah.
So there you have it, guys. That is the verdict. We can still win even in these crazy interest rate times. So thank you, Stacey. I so appreciate you being here with us. Our next guest is going to be Ola Swarn. What's interesting about Ola is she's a designer. She designs luxury spaces that are under 1,000 square feet.
Love that.
I love that too.
I need to get in touch with Ola.
I know, right? So I cannot wait for her to jump on. So while I wait, though, I am going to go ahead and share my screen and talk a little bit more about the summit. Stacey, feel free to stay. Feel free to go. I know your schedule's probably.
I have another meeting. I'm so sorry, but I just want to thank you for putting this awesome summit together. I know I'm super excited, and you should be excited too if you're watching this. Get your tickets, people.
Get your tickets. What are you waiting for? If you haven't gotten it, what are you waiting for? Stop playing with me. Thank
See you later.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Alrighty, guys. So it is just us. As I wait on Ola, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and I will show you exactly the process to get your ticket. If you go to luxstr.com, again, that is luxstrsummit.com, luxstrsummit.com, you will have an opportunity to land on this landing page here with all of these beautiful people. So let me take a peek. I want to make sure when Ola jumps on, I can let her in. And oh, Ron responded. Ron says, I know it's been a while. We have to catch up soon. Yeah. So Ron, I think my whole life kind of changed when I was not able to go live in Facebook anymore, but I am back, baby. I am back. So guys, again, join the industry's most powerful and shortest short-term rental summit, where we're going to be featuring 60 expert guests in 60 minutes. So each guest, here's the catch, each guest has only 60 seconds to present one piece of their most powerful bit of information that can transform your entire business. Although I specialize in helping busy medical professionals, you don't have to be a medical professional to attend, but I would say it is a sector that is so near and dear to me because I have been there, I have done that. And if you haven't read my story, please check it out. But medical professionals, we get hit with the short end of the stick oftentimes, not only through being burnt out at work, but it seems like we've got it made, we're making all of this money, but once the taxes start creeping in, it's just such a challenge, right? And because of that, I have found that short-term rentals have allowed us to leverage things like cost segregations, bonus depreciation, to then keep some of that revenue so that we can start to build out a life where we have a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of elbow room, a little bit of time freedom. And so I absolutely love short-term rentals. Oh my gosh, as you can probably tell, right? Okay, so I'm looking, I don't see Ola yet. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure she's not trying to jump on and I have left her out. So guys, bear with me. Bear with me while I check my email. Okay, it says Ola has joined me. Ola, are you somewhere? Let me see. Let me see. Okay, give me 1 second. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. It says Ola has joined. But I think she's joined a different meeting. Okay, she is on a different one. All right, so hopefully she'll be able to jump on this one. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, super, super. Thank you guys again for bearing with me. All right, so as I was saying, so yeah, so healthcare professionals definitely have a place near and dear to my heart, but our community is made up of so many different individuals who are just looking for a way out. And so I designed the summit really to give you access to my community, to my network. These are the people that I reach out. You know how it says reach out and touch someone. I reach out and I tap them and I say, so-and-so, what do you think about this? What do you think about this approach? Or what do you think about that approach? You know, and so these essentially are the experts. These are my go-to people for whatever area of short-term rental there is. So I am just super, super excited to bring these experts to you. They have 60 seconds to condense years of information just for you so that you can know how to take that next best step for your business. And again, here are 60 experts, meet them. We have companies as well that are joining in. We have Price Labs, we have the Host Co, we have Host GPO, we have tax attorneys, we have doctors who have started, we have Hopper, we have Joe, he's a tax deed expert, Rank Breeze, STR Insights, Breezeway, just amazing, amazing community of different STR investors and different STR operators. And so today we are connecting with Ola. And Ola, feel free to go ahead. I see you now. I'm super excited. Oh my gosh, there she is. Beautiful Ola. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I apologize for that mix up. We went ahead and updated. Let me let her know you're here. She's here now. Okay, so yeah, so Ola, so good to see you. Oh my goodness, I am so excited that you're here with us because one thing that we understand about the STR space right now, you know, gone are the days when I could pick up grandma's old sofa from the side of the road and put it in the property and think, woohoo, I have a great STR, you know? And I'm being facetious because everybody knows now, right? Everyone knows you have to set it up beautifully and you have to take beautiful pictures. But absolutely. Ola, I want you to talk to us a little bit about what you do and then tell us, well, if everyone knows what to do now, right? We all know how to look at a magazine and try to, you know, recreate, but how do we stand out from the crowd? How do we set ourselves apart? I go into the store, I have the catalog, all of the tan furniture there in that same set. I'm going to buy that for the bedroom. But how do I stand out? Because everyone else is doing that very thing.
Exactly. I think
so
you just
talk to us. Introduce yourself, Ola, and tell us how can we stand out?
Absolutely. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. My name is Olaniyi Swarn. You can just call me Ola. Olaniyi is a mouthful, I know. I'm an interior designer, lifestyler here in the Chicagoland area. Also the principal designer, owner, and a creative director of Jodola Decor, a boutique interior design firm that is designed. We specialize in transforming spaces of 1,000 square feet or less. That includes short-term rentals and particularly luxury short-term rentals. I think you bring up such a great question, Rachel, about how to stand out. Yes, we have lots of lifestyle stores and they do an phenomenal job of marketing what they sell, their products, and actually putting them together to show us how to put them together. But now if everybody is copying that same look, nobody stands out. It's all vanilla. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to use some things that are unique, some things that are uncommon. The things we see every day are common. The lifestyle stores that just about anybody can walk into on a good day or a bad day and buy the same thing, those things are common. And so really, of course, I'm going to encourage using an interior designer because we have access to things. We're constantly educating ourselves on things that are uncommon, things that are new, cutting edge, things that no one else has. Because why use an interior designer if you're just going to go get something common, right? So we do that. And, we talk about, if you look at Airbnb, the way they've restructured their website right now, they are really highlighting those properties that are uncommon. A-frames, farmhouses way in the middle of nowhere, yurts, places with giant, yurts. What is the other thing? It's not a gazebo. It just left my mind, but it looks like a little igloo.
Like the glamping.
Like the glamping sites, A-frames, tiny homes, set in the middle of a farm with livestock and everything for people who want that experience. Giant swings, not just a regular swing, but a giant 8-foot swing is on their on their website because it's unique. People want to go to a destination, and the destination is not necessarily all of the attractions around. It's your place. So I think that those in the luxury short-term market, short-term rental market, they have a unique opportunity. They have a unique opportunity to get the attention of that 1%.
Absolutely. And Airbnb rewards that, right? So does that inform you of what, the future holds? If they're really pushing and rewarding that, well, it tells you a lot. It tells you want to stand out from the crowd.
Exactly. And it doesn't necessarily have to be uber expensive to do it. You really have to be creative, though. And creativity takes a lot of energy. It's not something that comes naturally for everyone. So you started out talking about grandma's sofa on the side of the road. Grandma's sofa on the side of the road might work if you pick it up, send it to a reupholsterer or someone who can recondition or refurbish that to make it look like $10,000. Now it will cost you a little money to do that, but that could work. Bringing in some vintage items, bringing in some oversized artwork by local artists, not something that everybody can get online, right? Look locally. There are lots of local artisans, people who work with their hands, who make something out of nothing, whether it be unique lighting or furniture, or just even a side piece, like a sideboard. There are lots of ways to bring in the unique pieces or elements, I should say, into a short-term rental.
I love everything you're saying there, Ola. And you're absolutely right, because I thought I was a designer, I thought I could design, and I put things together, oh, that's nice. And there was one sofa that I just wanted to get rid of. And the only reason I would not get rid of it, it was the most comfortable and my kids loved it. And I was just laid, it just fits so well. And I wanted to get rid of it. So when the designer showed up at the space, I said, yeah, this one definitely has to go. I have this other, brand new looking, just very modern. And she said, why does this one have to go? And she was adamant that we're keeping this old looking, it was a very light floral pattern, which is to me is but it was very light, Ralph Lauren, very high quality.
Sure.
The structure was solid. It could take a beating. She goes, this right here, this is one of the best pieces. Yeah. And to me, it was the worst piece. I wouldn't have known that. I'm from a medical career. Most of our attendees are medical background. We did not go to school for interior design. We watch HGTV and we all have that same look that we're portraying. Right. But had she not said something, that sofa would have been gone. And we still have it in that particular space. We love it. We're comfortable. And I feel confident. Like I even had hang-ups about it. I was like, I want people to see the sofa. Let's cover it. No, don't cover it. This is this is in. This is, and I didn't know it was in, and it's
absolutely, absolutely. I think they call it granny chic.
Granny chic. Oh my God.
Chic. Yeah, they call it or grand millennial. The millennials are totally into that.
The millennials are into it. It's hilarious.
They are totally into that. So it does have a place, and even if it's older, it depends on what you mix it with, what you blend it with. It's just like fashion. You might take a skirt that you've had for 10, 15 years, but you might put some new shoes, some new jewelry, a new blouse with it, a leather jacket, and bam, it becomes something completely different. So it's about, I go back to creativity. You really have to be a creative person. And many designers are. We think creatively, we dream creatively, we're always on when it comes to that. And so that's why I highly recommend choosing and make sure, not just any interior designer, you can sit down, do your due diligence, ask the questions, make sure they're executing your vision, not theirs, for your space, because it's for your avatar and not the designer. So I wanted to make sure to mention that.
Mic drop, guys. So there you have it. So guys, our summit, Ola is going to be dropping gems, 60 seconds worth of condensed years of experience, which is going to be amazing. She was here today, and let me check if we have any final questions, just to make sure you got a chance to interact with her and see, who she is and just kind of meet her. So definitely, I am so happy to have had you here today, Ola. I know that we both have commitments probably in just a few minutes, and we're going to jump off, but thank you so much.
I also want, you're quite welcome, Rachel. I also wanted to mention, make sure, because when we talk about luxury, we're talking about 1%, right? So that means 99% of us don't live that lifestyle. That means 99% of us need to know what that lifestyle is about. Make sure that your interior designer is introducing you to some things. Very, very quickly, I want to show you something. I went and picked up some items that are quite uncommon. This is a pillow that has goose down feathers in it. It's super soft. The quality is impeccable. Look at the stitching there. This is awesome. I'm going to set this up for a giveaway. I did have something else. Here's another pillow. Impeccable quality. Very different. You see how that just
the way
breaks
it's
a little different.
Like it just,
yes. When you get a pillow and you can't do like that, you see how I just did that little karate chop and it stays? If your karate chop doesn't stay, that's a cheap pillow. You don't want that.
Okay, you just gave us a gem right there.
Exactly. Nice. And these are, this is fabric. This is upholstery fabric. I actually went to my vendor and they take remnants and they make them into little pouches. So I can give to my clients something like this. They can take it, put it in their purse, but then they can feel it and they know what luxury feels like, right? These are things that I do for my clients so that I help them to understand what a quality fabric does. This is very thick, very thick. It's completely lined, beautiful zipper, not the cheap zippers you see in the stores. It's completely lined. So if they were to make this into a pillow or a throw at the foot of the bed, they could do that. And I have tons of these things, and I give things like this pillow to my clients so that I can help them understand this is what it feels like. Okay. So just want to throw that in there.
And that's one thing that I talk about luxury. The textiles, right, are different. It's not, and nothing wrong with Amazon. Look, I have to depend on them every now and then, just to give me something quick. But when you look at the textile, just how Ola is like touching it, it feels different.
Yes, and this is a Turkish towel.
Okay.
This is a Turkish towel. It might look like a regular cotton white towel, but it doesn't feel like that. It's super thick. Back in the day when we were little, my mom used to go pick up these towels called Thick and Thirsty. I don't even think they sell those towels anymore, but my mom had those towels for 20 years and there was no rip, no fraying. This is the Thick and Thirsty. This is like that. Now you can't buy this in any store. This is something, again, that I get from my vendor, and these are 100% Turkish cotton towels. So
Nice.
luxury, again, this is what it feels
Luxury.
like, what it looks like. Okay.
Cool.
I wanted to make sure to share that with your audience.
Thank you. No, I love the visuals too, because that solidifies that, okay, I'm starting to understand a little bit better. So thank you for sharing those visuals, Ola.
You
and
are
I
quite
so
welcome.
appreciate you. And I appreciate, and that's the thing I tell my audience, you know, I was very select as I curated my list of network and within my network to share with the audience, because I wanted those who not only provided a phenomenal service, because there are people who provide phenomenal service, but I wanted those who provided a phenomenal service but had a heart of a teacher.
Yes,
To teach
yes.
something.
You nailed it.
That part, right? Because
Absolutely.
I want each member to walk away learning something new, just like I'm about to walk away from you. And I just learned so much from you.
With value. Absolutely. Got a level of playing field there. We're not just there to tell you what to do, but we're here to educate. Many designers who love what they do will educate their clients so that their clients feel empowered to make the right decisions.
Absolutely. So Ola, thank you. So guys, remember, tomorrow is the last day for the early bird ticket. So if you haven't purchased it yet, what are you doing? Get your life together and come and join us. It's going to be amazing. Exactly. I've already gotten so much value today. There's more to come. So thank you, Ola, and you have a wonderful day. And I so appreciate you.
You too. Take care. See you at the